Hello, everyone. It is such a pleasure to take part in this program for Agnes Macphail. You've probably all heard the expression, I would not be the person I am today were it not for the influence of such and such an individual. Well, with regard to Agnes Macphail and myself, I think that expression could quite literally apply. I would not be the person I am today were it not for the influence of Agnes Macphail. As some of you know, my parents worked for Agnes Macphail. My mother in the capacity of a live-in housekeeper and caregiver for Agnes's mother, and my father as a chauffeur who sometimes would take Agnes to political functions like picnics. And it was on one of these excursions that my father met my mother. They fell in love, and the rest is history for the Sinclair family. So it is with particular pleasure that I present this poem to you today as a tribute to Agnes Macphail, and in recognition, really, of all the individuals in this area who 100 years ago trusted her enough to put her in a position where someday she would be recognized and designated as a woman of national historic significance. How amazing is that? So I offer you When Agnes Spoke. When Agnes spoke, people listened, for her voice was commanding and true, and she used it to champion causes, to accomplish everything she could do, to improve conditions for farmers, whose votes catapulted to fame an inspiring soul from Grey County to a leading role on Canada's stage. When Agnes spoke, people listened, as her voice rose upward and smashed those barriers to gender equality in society's ceiling of glass. Shards of the past that women today must remember with grateful applause for the lady from Grey, whose vision helped pave new inroads in Canada's laws. On the national stage, many battles were waged, and her voice was not always heard. But a change was discerned when colleagues soon learned that Agnes stayed true to her words. She wasn't afraid to have ripples made, and with tenacity wouldn't let go of situations she saw that contained many flaws, and she challenged the old status quo. The conditions in prisons were just one example of compassion for sights she deplored. No one could rehabilitate in such conditions of hate. And the squalor she could not ignore. In the League of Nations, she found a place for her passionate voice for peace. She recognized society's need for reform and defended all colors and creeds. And when hecklers berated her vision, or when opposing issues were raised, her humor, blended with a knife-sharp wit, was a trademark approach she engaged. She speaks to us still from Parliament Hill, where her legacy continues to shine in benefits we might take for granted, but her signature is clearly enshrined. Her achievements were many, as she paved the way for generations of women who all need to pay a debt of gratitude to Agnes Macphail for lighting a pathway and blazing a trail. Yet over the years, her voice seems subdued in our rapidly changing world. But thanks to the efforts of people with vision, we're remembering our Grey County girl who rose to fame from a humble life, without wealth or advantage beyond a pioneer family whose values and guidance shaped a character determined and strong. Thanks to many committees, now road signs exist, and a cairn's been erected with credit to Donna Mann. And now this art installation from Holger's imagination. These have all helped Grey County expand the value that's placed on heritage, the awareness that Agnes Macphail must stay in the forefront forever, where all local heroes prevail. They give us hope and inspire us all to reach for the elusive star that guides our personal destiny and raises the excellence bar. Future students will know that generations ago, Agnes rose to the top like cream, thanks to farmers who trusted a woman's voice to speak for their hopes and their dreams. Her voice is now silent, but if she could speak from wherever her spirit now roams, perhaps she might say something like this to folks from her former home. I fought for your rights, so your personal plight would be less difficult than our ancestors knew. Please take up the cause and ensure that our laws protect all Canadians, not just a few. Speak for me now, as the years unfold, and use a voice that's commanding and true. Then people will listen and will know that you stand behind everything you choose to do. To give to mankind, regardless of creed, the chance for a better life, to possess all the means to fulfill all your dreams. For that was my one wish for you. Thank you, Agnes Macphail, and thanks to each one of you for listening.